And we're live. Yay!
Oh, you started already?
Yep, we're live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Christmas special. I know, right? I have a guest with me today. This is Allison.
Hi.
Yay! She told me about What is a Woman documentary. I did not watch it. I only know snippets of things that I saw on Twitter, you know. So I did not watch it. She watched it. You watched it, right?
I watch it because under a recommendation of another friend of us.
Yeah.
And I find it's important maybe nowadays to talk about this. And since it's Christmas night, we didn't really have an idea what we should do. So we think, watch random films, videos, and then we have these ideas. Maybe we can watch something valuable, socially, discussable items or topics, and then maybe we can share our opinions to the audience.
Yep. That's what we decided to do, and that's what we are going to do. So yeah, thanks if you're joining us. I have the chat right here. I'll see your questions and everything. We're just gonna watch the whole thing. We're gonna pause and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So let's get it. Should have subtitles, so that's fine.
I'm not sure. Do they have subtitles in English or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I get the feather from you. That's not good.
Being a dad is one of the great privileges of my life. Give my son a BB gun, and that's just about all the emotional support he needs. My daughter, on the other hand, I've heard people say that there are no differences between male and female. Those people are idiots.
Oh.
I'm a husband.
He's already
I'm a father of 4.
I
host a talk show. I give
like
speeches. I write books. I like to make sense of things. But making sense of females is a whole other matter. Even astrophysicist Stephen Hawking, who could come up with a theory on black holes, was completely dumbfounded by women.
Women. They are a complete mystery.
And now our culture is telling us that the differences between girls and boys don't matter. That if you identify as something, then you are that thing. How do we help our kids make sense of this when they're bombarded with conflicting messages about gender and identity? Forget trying to figure out women. The real question is, what is a woman?
I mean, yeah.
As you grow, your body changes from that of a young girl to that of a woman. Soon, Molly will be a young woman, having dates, going to dances, and lovely romantic dresses.
The boy's shoulders are broad and his body muscular, while the girl's body is more curved.
I'd like to know more about different kinds of hormones.
Presence of these hormones in the blood brings about many changes in the bodies of both boys and girls.
Being a woman is one of the things I like best about myself. I think you'll like it too.
For me, this question is as a common sense question. If I put it. And there are also these combinations. There will be XXY, because the sex genes has sometimes like mutations, and then they will show maybe you are inner woman.
I like to come out here to think.
Shows like a man or something, but in general,
Nature seems to always tell the truth, even when we don't want to hear it.
I mean, for me, like,
Truth is, I'm not very good at
I
fishing.
don't know what is a woman, to be honest. Like,
But what is truth?
Let me put the brakes on this.
Yeah.
Is there a truth?
Hello? Can you...
Is this what progress looks like?
Yeah, you just put the pause.
Yeah. Whew. So, for me, let me answer the question, what is a woman? And then
So
after...
by now. Because
Yeah,
we're
now,
gonna have more ideas.
yeah. After, because I actually know, I don't know, I am actually dumbfounded. Like, what the fuck is a woman?
Don't curse, please.
Yeah.
Just be friendly.
Yeah, let's be PG-13. So, what is a woman? Honestly, I'm like, a woman is a person who can give birth to life. You know, like eject a human being out of their
body. Secret body.
Yeah. So in my mind, that's what is a woman. It's a a being that is just ejects a baby.
So simple. I think it's more like mine. So basically, XX give you two functions. Number one, you would have a period. That is also how you have the baby. This is like a baby related function. And then, so technically, you are genetically able to have a baby because someone has disease maybe, or maybe they have like a surgery injury somewhere, so they cannot have a baby later, but genetically speaking they can have a baby. So they are able to bear a baby and give birth to a baby. So that's would be how it was. Only genetic.
Yeah, they have a freaking vagina and like all of the
you have
all
uterus,
uterus and all of that stuff. You know, like that's what I'm thinking. Or like
when you think of
yeah, exactly. Like if I'm trying to define what is a woman, that's what it is. So let's see if this documentary can help me
to get
a more like wide
answer, more concrete, or maybe more defined or whatever. So, but at least we have first impression on our own individual independent ideas on what we think when someone ask us like a question, what do you think what a woman is?
Perfect. So let's
Can my boys really become girls? Do I have 4 daughters? Do I now have to pay for 4 weddings? Is there a son trapped in my daughter's body? If so, how do I get him out? Are any of my kids who they claim to be? Who are these people?
His face is
Who am I?
I'm
I better see a therapist.
In the state of Tennessee, I'm a licensed marital and family therapist, which basically means I've been trained up to think about like systems, family systems, how we were raised up, how that shapes who we are today.
So on your website, if you'll bear with me, quoting, you say, I use a combination of approaches in my therapeutic work, including anti-oppression, feminist, and narrative frameworks. I rely deeply on systems theory and understanding that individuals are products of and in dialogue with our surroundings, including our families, broader culture, workplaces, nature, and political climates. What does that mean?
So thinking about the modalities that I use, I'm definitely informed by like feminist family therapy, and the ideas that we live in gendered worlds where there are certain imperatives that are placed on us about who we are and what we do based on how we've been gendered. From the minute I was assigned female, I was told, okay, these are the kind of clothing that you're going to wear, these are the kind of the type of play that you're going to engage in as a child, the path that maybe your life will take because of social expectations.
What do you mean by assigned female?
By using the word, because I study linguistics, I think this word can be
female.
more
So most times people when they're born, they're assigned a gender
by
the doctor.
I think she's waiting also.
What do they base that
using the word feminism
assignment on?
So basically it's based on genitalia. So people looking at genitalia and deciding, okay, this is a girl or a boy. And we know now that that sex and gender are so much more than just this binary. Some women have penises, some women have vaginas. That's not how gender works.
How do we know that?
Maybe finish his her to be first, and I guess some like her input, and then we can discuss some of the words.
I don't know how it's structured, so.
Transgender people who've said like, oh, I'm a trans woman, and just because I happen to have a penis, right, that doesn't mean that this is like who I am as a person, or that genitalia doesn't equal gender. Who they are, their gender expression. That a trans woman is a woman.
With the fluidity of these things, how do I know if I'm a woman? You know,
That's a great question.
I like scented candles. I've watched Sex and the City.
Yeah.
I'm dying.
So how do I know?
Yeah,
I can tell you only that I watched it more than one time, and the first time I watched it is a torture for me.
Asked with a lot of curiosity.
I'm asking one
That's
question,
the beginning
give
of
me
a
this
lot of people's
whole
like
roundabout answers that I don't even know you understand my English or not.
And my wife is a woman, though I haven't asked her.
Maybe I should.
But if they're all women, and also the boy who sits down with you and says, I think I'm a girl, actually is one, then what is a woman?
Great question. I'm not a woman, so I can't really answer.
Oh
that.
shit.
Oh, she's not a woman?
Oh, interesting.
Okay, can we pause here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we finished one interview, right?
I thought therapy would make me less confused.
I thought it too. You know, you went to therapy and you hope that seeking for an answer, whatever solution, and this.
And she's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and
or a woman, or
I'm not really sure by her saying I'm not a woman. What does she mean?
Yeah.
I mean, she's biologically not a woman, or she don't identify herself or itself or whatever as a woman.
I'm confused already. It is for 6 minutes.
So let's maybe put it this way. So optically, I would think it is a woman. Okay, I don't even know, like, if she's...
She looked like a woman.
Okay, that this person, this human being, well, let's say maybe she also has, like, you know, self-identical problem as being a human rather than being in, you know, panda or, you know, cats or whatever. So let's say it is a woman to me.
Yeah.
Because it looks feminine to me, like very, you know, this typical woman. The voices, for example. Yeah. Etc. So I would categorize it as category woman, female. Okay. Put it this way, yeah. That's at least that's my impression for it. Yeah. So I have to be very, you know, just very careful with my words.
I mean, she looked like a woman, to be honest. Like, I thought, oh shit. When she was like, oh, I'm not a woman myself, and I'm like, okay.
Okay, so yeah, because
it's weird.
When she said I'm not a woman,
I think she wanted to dodge the question. She was like, yeah, actually, I'm not a woman.
I'm not a woman.
So I don't know if I'm not a woman. Like, bro, you just invalidated your whole fucking argument. Sorry. Like, everything you said previously, it's gone. It's neutral. It's erased because you're not a woman. So, like, he asked you, like, several times, what is a woman? And you're like, oh, these systems, this gender, whatever. Genitalia, whatever. And then he asked you, like, no, for real, though, what is a woman? And she's like, yeah, actually, I don't know.
I can't answer the question.
Yeah, because I'm not a woman. Like...
I was shocked.
Then what did you say before? It's just the word salad.
So I mean, yeah. So basically, we pause here. Like, I thought therapy would make me less confused. The fact is, we are both confused.
Yeah, I'm super confused.
But let's see. She brought some, like, keyword which we can use as, you know, like, some thinking direction. So number one, she said there's a difference between sex and gender. Yeah. So sex and gender would maybe help you to understand, okay, we are talking about female or we're talking about women as in general, like a category for a certain group of people. Mm. And then she also mentioned, so it's obviously that we judge woman or a man, female or a male based on the genitalia. So optical appearance would be different. Yeah. The sex organs and, you know, others and stuff. So, okay at least we get not useful information, but we know, okay, there's two directions we can see. So one is like the optical, so your body structures, and then maybe another one is, okay, how we socialize, define, and how we, you know, scientifically, like biologically define maybe one concept.
So sex and gender are not the same thing?
I don't know. I mean,
is it explained in this?
Maybe. I think.
Maybe, okay.
I think
don't give me spoilers.
Yeah, I know. I think they we shall talk about this. If they don't, we can talk about it later. Yeah. But I think there's coverage.
Because what I thought and what I think, I honestly was like, it's not the same fucking thing. I mean, a woman is a female and a male is a male, and that's it. Like, it's just a
you know, and under this category, we might further categories with, like, ages, like they're boys and girls, they're guys, right?
Oh,
what is equivalence guys to the female version? There's no. Right?
It's just guys. Guys is everything. Guys is a gender neutral.
Grammatically speaking, I think guys are men.
Yeah, but like now it's used everything.
Yeah, so
it's like so gals,
sisters, brothers, maybe also.
Gals is for guys.
Gals is for guys. Yeah. So you see, we had also more questions Like we are actually in a confusion circles that we
So
get
let's
more
see if
confusion.
this
Yeah, so
movie
I
will...
thought therapies would be like confusion. Actually, I'm not even less confused.
Yeah. So let's see.
Am
So
I the
let's see
only
what's
one
gonna
feeling
happen
this
next.
way? I need to hit the road and find out.
So from Nashville to New York City, Manhattan. Oh, this
We're
is
talking
Chicago.
about gender in society. Let me start with a real basic question. What is a woman?
Okay.
I like their face expressions. I don't want to mess up with you, you know.
I don't want to assume, but you guys are all women?
Yes, we're women.
So how would you define it, like in the simplest terms?
That is hard.
Yeah, it is. It is a stumper.
A woman is someone that likes to be pretty and think of themselves as a delicate creature.
I'm pretty and delicate.
Okay.
I mean, that's gonna be
I could be a woman too.
Yes, you could.
Defining womanhood
Oh no.
is
What is this guy
to
doing
someone who
with his
identifies as
chest
a woman.
open?
Yeah, but what do they identify? You see what I'm saying? What do they identify as? They identify as a woman, but what is that?
I honestly don't know.
I honestly don't know.
It's a simple question.
For example, I
Yo, the
won't
subtitles
catch.
are way
So
wrong.
why is it so hard to answer?
Yeah,
I think I'll have to just you know, be like goodbye.
No, not subtitles. Maybe keep the subtitles on, cause I don't know. Just I mean, let's say 90% of this is cool.
Yeah.
Cause actually, because the audio's sound and sometimes you don't really hear very clear. Maybe subtitles.
This is going to take some serious
But I
investigation.
won't think Age is a woman. I would think it is a man, cause he has beards.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a man. And this for me is another man. So that's my
women were
categorization
understood to be
of
a
the
certain
two
thing.
Gentlemen, I would say.
So what
Oh,
changed?
RuPaul drag queen.
No one can seem to answer the question now. Over 2,000 surgeries and counting, Dr. Marcy Bowers is the nation's preeminent sex change surgeon.
Okay, so
Surely someone who does sex change surgeries can answer what a woman is.
So in New York, like we did nothing on. Just
I mean, New York is kind of useless though.
okay, we are now in California.
Dr. Marcy Bowers, first of all, thanks for talking to us.
My pleasure.
So you're a world-renowned gynecologist and surgeon. You're also a transgender woman. Can you tell me a little bit about...
Well, I mean, I identify as a woman.
Actually, what I
But
see is
you're a woman,
I feel like
right.
he's a
I'm
man.
a woman with,
'cause
Really?
I mean, that's
from
my
the
life.
figures, bone structures
Day-to-day.
in general.
Oh.
But I have a transgender history.
It's
So
you know,
one
it's
thing
more
on
like
your
first
website, it says...
My first impression of that is
a
that
woman.
she's a woman.
Vaginoplasty.
Yeah.
For me, it's like
What
okay,
is that
it's a
exactly?
feminine.
A vaginoplasty is creation of
But since she done the
female,
surgery, I mean,
a female
maybe
vagina
she's a woman,
and
I don't
vulva.
know.
We're altering the physical characteristics of the
Maybe just
individual
listen
to,
her
to
or
fit
him or
better
whatever,
with a
just see what-
gender
I think I'm
identity
using
that
eight for
is
all of
female.
them. Just
For
be,
each.
just
Yeah.
be correct. You know, I don't want to
Yes,
cause
that's
trouble.
right.
This
The
person.
surgeries are quite
This
refined in
human.
the sense that they
This
really,
human.
not only do they look
Cheers.
like female anatomy, but they also function that way. For the most part. I mean, certainly it's a bit of a Faustian bargain. You know, it's not perfect.
Does anyone ever regret their surgeries? Or, well, we know they do, but how often do people regret their surgeries?
Well, actually, we don't know that they do. There are legitimate detransitioners, and there are people who truly feel that in their journey, they may have made a mistake. Now, fortunately, this is a really, really uncommon phenomenon.
I don't know if you've ever heard of people in the trans-abled community. These are people who are physically able-bodied but feel like they should be disabled or identify as such. For example, a man who has two arms but feels like he should have one. If a man in this kind of marginalized community went to the doctor and said, I want to have my arm cut off.
Interesting,
do you think
interesting.
That doesn't have anything to do with gender identity.
Well, it's someone's
Just
someone's self-identity.
hopefully
not
we'll
someone
won't
identity.
pick up the
that's someone
TV
who
sound when
has
we're not
a,
speaking.
And I'll accept it as a mental diagnosis, a psychiatric condition. I don't even pretend to know what aptomenophilia is all about. But somehow it's the idea that you're fascinated or charmed by having a limb or part of a limb missing. Okay, I would say that's, pardon my non-medical language, kooky.
You don't see any? You think this is totally irrelevant?
Yep.
So
It's avoiding the
the
question.
biggest, broadest question is, But what is a woman?
A woman is it's a combination of your physical attributes and then what you're showing to the world and the gender clues that you give. And hopefully those match your gender identity.
The critics on the other side of this, of this issue.
There aren't many, but go ahead.
There aren't many who would disagree with what you're saying about.
Well, the dinosaurs of the world are certainly out there.
He said, hold on. Yeah, we finished now.
Okay, that was a doozy.
I think I'm more confused because there is so what is called feminist expert or whatever. What is its title by saying its profession is like feminist whatever?
No, it's a gender affirming surgeon.
Yeah, I mean this girl or this
woman.
It's this girl. I have to change my judgment. So I'm respecting, but I really don't know. So they also don't know if this woman or not. They also cannot say should I call them as a miss or should I call them as misters or should I call them hello? Yeah. So we have the first expert like a feminism expert, and now we have a real sex transgender surgeon.
Oh yeah. The second interviewee was.
So it seems to have one helps you with your mental recognition. That's with your physical recognitions. Unfortunately, I don't really know what you're talking about, honestly. She gave me an answer. Says woman should be how its physical whatever appearance looks like. Yes, that's it. That is how genetically speaking.
Yeah.
And then she said that's how you present to the world. Okay, I get it.
How your mannerisms and such.
Yeah, but she didn't say how the girl behaves versus how boys receive. So she said, okay, there's one direction, but she didn't say what this country between a woman or a man or boys and girls or ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
The third point, I don't really get it, unfortunately. But I think one point I find it very inspiring just by Mr. Welsh. He mentioned that what if that you think you should have one arm, but you happen to have two, and you would ask for cut one off, would you perform that surgery? She didn't answer that.
I mean...
She thinks it's irrelevant. Or it thinks it's irrelevant.
I mean, it's to be honest, to give the benefit of the doubt, it is kind of irrelevant because the person that was interviewed, her specialty is in the genital area, right? Okay, yeah. So it's kind of saying to a brain doctor, hey, what do you think of my skin? Do you think it's what should I do with these blemishes and whatnot? He's gonna be I don't fucking know, man. Go to a dermatologist, don't go to me, right?
Yeah.
Even though it's the same region, right? The head
and the head.
But he's specialized in brain. If you're having a migraine, you don't go to a skin doctor and be I don't know, my head hurts, Yeah. So I kind of to play devil's advocate, It's I get what she was, but the whole dinosaur thing was actually funny. I was because he was not a lot of people agree with what you're saying, and they're just dinosaurs.
Okay, so do you get any maybe better idea or better questions or maybe answers to our questions after you watch that clip?
So I got in what is a woman definition, we got mannerisms. I think but that's also a gray area. Because when I was little, people told me that I'm a girl because I'm more effeminate. Look.
More soft.
I don't want to delve really deep. I want to change this picture because it's terrifying me. Yeah, this one is better. And so yeah, I don't want to go deep into everything, my personal life and whatever. But people called me girl because I was more girly, because all my childhood was I played with more girls than boys, right? So I picked up their like way of like things. But I'm still a dude, right? I'm still a man, even though I'm like.
So basically the question, what is a woman equals to what is a man?
Yeah.
So you would identify yourself as man.
Yeah.
Male.
I'm a dude.
Yeah. See, I would identify myself as female, woman.
Yeah.
So I think we are very clear about at least our self-identical. Yeah. So that's cool.
Look, I'm a man because I have a dick. Sure, end of the story, right? And I don't have boobs. I have long hair, okay, but that doesn't.
Yeah, we both have long hair, but
that doesn't make me a woman.
Yeah. Also, I think, I mean, if I didn't know inside you, because most people don't just show I have a penis and that I'm a woman, or I'm a man or whatever. But if you walk through me. And my first impression would be this gave me this man structure, so the bone structure, face structure, fairly, and you have beard, so I would definitely see you as a man. It doesn't matter if you have long hair or short hair. This is my impression. So I think we as human beings, and we can tell it's opposite gender or not by having a feeling. Maybe through smell or maybe through, it's I think something that's embedded in our mind, just to know know your counterpartners.
Yeah. Like that. And with the whole facial bone structure thing, nowadays, before plastic surgery, it totally, you can identify, the jawline and everything. But even women have like awesome jawlines.
You sometimes have like, like a Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think her bone structure would be very masculine for me, but still, I could see her as a woman for sure. Yeah. It's not I think it's a general feeling, but some things can be very masculine in a way, or feminine in another way. Yeah.
So, conclusion is that I still don't know what the hell is a woman.
Yeah, conclusion is that I have more questions, so I don't know what my answer is. So let's say maybe this guy can help, or maybe this girl can help.
Shop here.
Yeah.
25 years. So. Wow. Now, you had an incident here a little while ago that went really viral online. Lots of reaction in the public.
Aberdeen Councilwoman Tiesa.
Oh, damn. That's a dude right there. I can see.
If you're born with a dick, you're not a chick.
I mean, it's easy.
I don't like the wording, but I agree.
New city councilman. He says, no, I'm your new city councilwoman. So it was kind of on from there.
You know what? It's bullshit.
No, what you're spouting is bullshit.
No, it's not. Trans women are women, sir. That sign is bullshit.
I've been doing this 25 years. I've never had a problem with anybody, whether they're gay, transsexual, anything.
Now, you're saying councilman, this individual was saying, I'm a woman.
Right.
And you said you're not a woman. How do you know that person's not a woman?
How do I know?
Yeah.
Well, common sense.
Doesn't the science say that if someone identifies as a woman,
common sense?
No.
I mean, yeah.
That's
checks out.
Bogus.
Yeah, if someone asked me, common sense.
And you come into my store, it don't matter to me. Just don't come in and try to shove that shit down my throat.
If it makes someone feel better, what about their feelings?
I don't give a shit about that.
What about the Star Wars
movies? Guys,
Jar Jar Binks.
I'm old, I'm Star.
Pansexual, do you think?
Jar Jar Binks.
Transgender?
Why would I even care?
If it's his truth.
Well, it ain't true.
You're not a scientist. You're not a gender studies major. Or are you?
No.
No? Okay. How do you know that you're a man?
How do I know that I'm a man? I guess because I got a dick.
Bingo.
I guess Don isn't overthinking it. He admits he's not a gender.
I won't say that I'm more clear, but I'm not confused.
I mean, I would say that this guy is just he's just a regular old guy who's like, I don't want any drama.
Okay.
And because he doesn't want drama, he got drama, because dramatic people are like, and like, I don't know, it's very funny. So yeah, it's This portion was funny.
So let's see. Apparently he's not some sex gender expert as well. Yeah. He's just the owner of a fan shop for Star Wars. And let me put it this way. I think his answer is very honest and it's very concrete. Yeah. You ask him a question, he give you the answer. Yeah. We are not judging if this answer is wrong or right. I like that when I'm asking questions, don't just circle around. Because you see, he asked the same question to the gender expert and they cannot get an answer. And you ask a man who's absolutely have no idea what gender, sex, this complex social definition is. But, he just said, how do I know this? Common sense. Why do I mad? Because I have a dick. Finish.
Yeah, I mean, it was very succinct, to the point.
It's correct.
It's not like...
It's not correct. I mean, it's accurate.
It was like this.
It's accurate. It's to the point. It's 100% matching the questions. I mean, respect, honestly. I think people should be more confident about what they think, what they truly think, and make it simple. Yeah. And maybe for his point of view, I mean, I would say that one thing I picked up, okay, so this woman or this guy or this transgender woman said, transgender woman is a woman. Okay. My concern would be, if you're a woman, why do you put transgender in front? Because when someone asks me, I won't say I'm a pretty woman, or I'm an ugly woman, I'm a tall woman, or I'm a fat woman, I'm a thin woman. So see, if you recognize you as a normal, ordinary woman, you don't put transgender in front of you. Because technically, when we are saying something with actual adjective in front of it, is that you don't particularly very self-conscious with the concept after. Yeah. I think if you think you're a woman, you confidently say, I'm a woman. For example, I won't say I'm a transgender woman or I'm a trans woman because I didn't do a surgery and I think I'm a woman and I'm just woman. Yeah. So you see, I don't really know if a transgender woman is a woman or not because, of course, I don't give a definition. From my point of view, I would say transgender woman is not equals to woman because you put a transgender in front of it. Just like pretty woman is not equals to woman because there are other women. You know, there are women are probably... Sorry to see that, but you have pretty women, you have ugly
or
women.
Average woman, you know.
There's average woman, there's like a confident woman, there's like strong woman, there's like cutie woman. There's a lot of women, but when you say I'm a pretty woman, I'm an ugly woman, I'm a fat woman, and it doesn't sound to me equals to woman. Because my concern would be, why do you see yourself pretty instead of pretty woman? Because woman for me, it's okay, it's a category that you randomly, like pretty woman for me in this conversation, in this context, equals to man. Yeah. I'm pretty man, I'm a pretty woman. The point is pretty. Yeah. So when that human, when that person says, you know what, I'm a transgender woman. Transgender is woman. For me, it sounds weird. Because transgender woman, the focus is transgender. Yeah. Meaning that you used to be a man and you also recognize that is truth. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think this whole thing, let me just say, I agree with you. Yeah, okay. I agree with you. Trans women is a woman, I don't know, man. Like it's weird because like if the trans people would have said I'm just transgender, I'm a transgender woman or a transgender man. Yeah. I think it would be just fine. It's just a new category, right? Yeah, it would be a new category. But if you want to infiltrate the already legacy of a woman,
like of a woman.
No word descriptive woman, like a woman. Yeah. Yeah. Punked. Like,
it's not true, right? You're not if you're not 100% something, then you're not that something, right? Yeah. You're a custom. You're a custom made, man-made woman. So like if you a man-made, it's just a human made. I don't know.
If your raw material is something and you artificially did something, then you become another thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you're not that thing.
You're not that thing. So you're not the thing before you're not the thing, which actually used to be 100% natural. Yeah. Just like a diamond, for example. People would pay a huge amount of money to get a real diamond, natural diamond. Yeah. But, technically speaking, you can also get artificial diamond, which has exactly the chemistry, the covalent bond, etc., but you pay less than 10%.
Yeah.
So see, there's something about natural born and artificially made or something. And speaking of diamond, because the artificial diamond and the natural diamond have exactly the same chemical chemistries.
Yeah.
Chemicals, characteristic, etc. But speaking of human beings, I also believe and firmly believe that the man transfer into a woman or woman transfer into a man is different than the natural born woman, natural born man. That's a significant difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a difference, and I think that honestly, it's just of course, everything we say is our opinion.
It's individual opinions,
yeah.
No defense, just to make it clear.
Yeah, we don't represent anybody, it's just our opinion. But I think that trans woman and trans man should be their own separate category.
Yeah, they are.
And I think it would be awesome. It's like I think it's kind of like like I'm a very science-oriented guy, and I think it's very interesting that we're making attempts to change
to minorities,
change our nature, change like grow boobs and like transform penises into vaginas and whatever. I think it's like kind of like doing the impossible. It's very interesting, and I really it's very wild. Like it's very interesting to me. Like I would not do that ever, but it takes a lot of courage to like
and
make
a lot of pain.
Yeah, a lot of pain.
It's major surgery. It's risk of dying, inflammations, years of hormones, injections.
Yeah, so it's kind of expensive to
tons of side
transform yourself, and to just be like, why would you just be like, so you're not wasting, you're investing money, like your psychological power, everything, your physical health, everything, to become something that you're not, and to become like your custom version of what you want to be, and then to just be like, oh, I'm a woman just like 50% of other population. I would not do that. I would be like, bitch, I'm fucking special. I made myself, bitch.
Just be Peter 14 for me. Thank you.
Yeah, I just made myself. Like this is how I want to be, right? So why would anyone be like, oh, I'm just like any other women? It's weird to me. This is kind of crazy.
I think. But from this point of view, I get the point. I think, for example, I want to be a rich person.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be a rich person. So we are struggling to do whatever to become a rich person. And maybe in the same way, they consist like gender transmission, the same thing. It's hard, and maybe we want to be the 5%, like Bill Gates, Elon Musk kind of rich person, and they want to be like an average majority. They want to be a woman, or they want to be a man. So they want to be the 50% of the non-minority group. I think the efforts they made, it doesn't matter if it's a physical efforts or like mental efforts, or you have to study or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the concept itself that I want to become a person, whether it's widely recognized or whether it's minority group, I mean, for me, this is the same. Yeah, I would say the same. The process itself, that I want to become a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, the same.
Like, so if transgender woman is a woman, you're losing your minority status, right? Because women are not minorities. They're actually majorities,
and
right?
I don't think in the history, also nowadays.
Yeah.
I never been.
Why would you lose the minority status?
Yeah,
bro?
I mean, I'm never being poorly treated just because I'm a woman. Actually, I feel like I get more advantages because I'm a woman than maybe my other female friends, or maybe my male friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like, being a woman is not necessarily give you advantages in a way, because maybe being a man can be,
It's all pluses and minuses.
Yes, you see, sometimes I feel like if you are a minority group, doesn't necessarily mean you are under advantages. Maybe it's a good thing. You see, minority group normally get more sponsorship from the government, for example.
Yeah.
like the disabled people might have more allowances than people who have health, but of course you don't want to be, physically disabled, but just in saying that, so on the paper is that maybe disabled people get more allowances, people who are, under a poor condition maybe get more allowances from the government than the people who have the average income statements. I'm just saying that minority is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Of course, they throw more, but also they get something extra bonus to compensate one thing.
Yeah. I mean, in Romania we have the Gypsy ethnicity, right? And they have to, stimulate the growth of the community. They have reserved seats in high school, middle school, because reserved, like if nobody's like occupying them, that's fine. But if even no matter your grade, you have
a reserved
seat, yeah. So that's great, like, okay, that's fine. Even though it's kind of discriminatory, it's positive discrimination. Yeah, that exists.
It's we call it affirmative discrimination in a way, because we give you special something because you are minorities and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, China the same. We have ethnic groups a lot, and we have minorities. And minorities have, for example, they get extra points when they are attending like the high school, like the university entrance examination.
Yeah.
I mean, they get extra holidays because they have different religions, and they have the standard holidays that every average Chinese people would have.
Yeah.
And they also have extra religious holiday because it's their culture, right?
Yeah.
And they have a parallel language system because they speak their mother tongue, which is totally another languages, and at the same time they also study the Mandarin, which is the standard Chinese.
Yeah.
So of course for me it's great, because 1 point, 1 grade in this state exam can make a differences of maybe 500 to 600 people, and just because they are minority, and they get the credit points.
Yeah.
And just because they are minority, I mean, of course they are under they are out of other benefits for sure, but sometimes just saying that being a minority can yield you some advantages. Maybe it's affirmative allowances because you are so under saying for so long, and now we give you a little bit credits, just to compensate something.
Yeah.
So not necessarily always a bad thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great discussion. Let's continue on with.
So, well, I guess Don isn't overthinking. Yeah. Correct.
And her studies major.
Why don't he just say what he thinks? And
or at the very least, a doctor.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go talk to one.
Now we are into that. We're back to New York again?
Yes.
Boston. Boston.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, yeah.
Providence.
My name is Michelle Forcier, and I have a medical degree from University of Connecticut, residency, University of Utah Pediatrics, and I've worked for a number of different Planned Parenthoods for 20 years. I do advanced contraception and abortion, as well as gender hormones, and sort of looking at the whole sort of schema of gender, sex, and reproductive justice.
So you've done a lot of work in this field. Could you just start by telling us?
Sure.
At what age can a child first begin to transition into another gender or identify themselves as a gender different from how they were born?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's research and data that show that babies and infants understand differences in gender. Some children figure out their gender really early, and the reason why we say, oh, that's interesting or important is because they're figuring out their gender identity is not necessarily congruent with their sex assigned at birth.
When the doctor sees the penis and says, this is a male, has the sex of male, that's an arbitrary distinction?
Telling that family, based on that little penis, that your child is absolutely 100% male identified, no matter what else occurs in their life, that's not correct.
So what is gender affirmation care? You're a big proponent of. If we walk through, a child is sitting down with you, is questioning their gender. What's the gender affirmation process?
Affirmation means that as a pediatrician, as someone who says my job is to provide the best medical care for you, is I need to listen really carefully. And how I put it in words for kids so that they can understand it is, tell me your story. Where have you been in terms of your gender and your gender identity? Where are you right now? And more excitingly, where would you like to be in the future?
Have you ever met a 4-year-old who believes in Santa Claus?
Mm-hmm.
So this is someone who believes that a fat man is traveling through the sky on a flying reindeer at lightning speed, coming down his chimney with presents.
Yeah.
Would you say that this is someone who maybe has a tenuous grasp on reality?
They have an appropriate 4-year-old handle on the
Sure.
reality
Agreed.
that's very real for them.
Agreed. But Santa Claus is real for them, but
Yeah.
Santa Claus is not actually real.
Yeah, well, but Santa Claus does deliver their Christmas presents.
Well, yeah, but he's not real, though.
What?
To that child, they are.
When I see a child who, believes in Santa Claus, and then let's say this is a boy and he says, I'm a girl.
Mm-hmm.
This is someone who can't distinguish between fantasy and reality, so how could you take that as a reality?
I would say that as a pediatrician and as a parent, I would say how wonderful my 4-year-old and their imagination is.
Okay.
We have to pause.
Pause.
Yeah, because
Aren't kids famous for their active imagination?
All right.
I'm just saying that I would feel very terrified if I have parents like that.
Feel very terrified if you had parents like that.
Yes, because she just let me do whatever I want without giving me a real constructive directions.
I would feel awesome.
Yeah, because your parents.
I would be like, yeah, baby, let's rock. As a kid, because let me tell you about little kids. They are manipulative little bastards. Let me tell you that.
Which kid?
Any kid. Any kid is a manipulative little flash of mischievous thoughts, like, bro, you don't even. It's bad. Okay, I have 2 nieces and 2 nephews. It's bad. Okay, it's bad. You saw my nephews.
I like them. As long as the kids are not yours, it's fine.
Yeah.
So, as you said, or the kids are like devils, and yeah, that's how parents should do. It's not do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They need to give them constructions and ideas and that. I mean, it's important for parents to have the balance, knowing what the freedom is and what your boundary is, because yeah, at home people tolerate you, your parents, your relatives, and all that, but in the societies, you're responsible to tolerate others, and also you're responsible to not bother others. And if you're just always behaving like whatever you want, the scientists give you the punch. Or maybe you just end up in prison.
You're gonna be an outcast, guys and gals. Let me tell you.
But you see, she mentioned, or Eight mentioned, I think she identified herself as a woman. Well, we didn't ask the question, right? I mean, he forgot to ask.
Looks like a woman. So.
Looks like a woman. So this a woman appearance, woman, man, or person. Yeah, I was so confused. Said as a woman, and also as the doctor in her description, right?
Yeah.
Said I was so fantasized and I was so thrilled to see my baby have this imagination. I don't know, I found this is really scary because this is not imagination.
Yeah, I mean, I would also laugh and be like, look at how imaginative you are.
So basically,
little Timmy.
So basically, according to her understanding and principle, at the age of 1, I somehow know that I'm a girl or I'm a boy, and I accidentally also find out, okay, I'm a boy or I'm a girl. But what I found is not what I think. And I talk to my mom and say, Mom, I want to be a boy instead of a girl. Because even though I have a penis, but I feel like I have boobs. Or I want to have boobs. And according to her theory, and he will give me some medicals or whatever theory treatment. And at age of 4, I suddenly realized, you know what? I'm actually a girl. And I transgender back? I don't know. And according to her, I have this whole bunch of imaginations. I have living this fantasy or reality. I don't know.
Yeah.
oh, she wants to make my fantasy a reality. Okay, no problem. At age of 10, I said, you know what? I'm actually a boy. And then at age 12, oh my god, I'm actually a girl. And I'm just like transgender everywhere. It's just, for me, this sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Cause
it's a mess.
I'm just feeling like, cause kids change their idea every single day, even they have a problem or not. Because today I would like to play a guitar, tomorrow maybe I want to learn some classical instruments.
Yeah.
People's, particularly kids, change their mind, I think, rather irrationally.
And fast as well.
Yeah, they can change, they have like 1,000 ideas within a day or within an hour, and you just base on one maybe idea of him that he thinks he's a man.
Yeah.
And you take that serious.
Never take serious
or
kids.
you take everything what a baby says very serious. That's also horrible.
Yeah.
Just saying, I think, I'm not sure, because if my kid would have some doubt in their gender preferences or in general any mental issues, and I send my kid to this doctor and seeking for some therapy or seeking some catharsis, I'm gonna sue this lady.
Honestly, I would not send my little kids to a therapy, period. Therapy should be...
physical therapy, yes, but not.
No, psychological therapy. You know, like go to a psychiatrist or whatever, psychologist. No, it's your job as a parent to be the psychologist, okay? Like a kid is a blank slate. You actually mold their convictions and their principles and how they look at life. You know, it's your responsibility as a parent. Like, if you're neglecting your child, this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah, they become a burden of the other people.
They're gonna become obnoxious, pretentious egomaniacs. You know, just like me, whatever. I am like, you know, the best, whatever. And yeah, it's very weird. And this doctor did not help at all, to be honest. Like
He's not helping at all.
I can't say I'm more confused. I'm just what?
Yeah, I think I'm not confused because I mean apparently she didn't point out anything.
Yeah, she
didn't
was not helpful at all.
She didn't give you more dimension to think. She didn't give you more in-depth visions on maybe one particular point of view.
Yeah.
She just want to firmly stand for her opinion. That's it. With the Santa Claus thing, I was like,
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, lady, you need to get us some.
Maybe we get a revisit on this, but until now, this lady is just bananas.
For me, I think you can delete that clips from that documentary, and it won't make any differences because what she said as input to this topic or to this question or to in general this social discussion is like zero contribution.
Yeah.
Till
now, I zero grade this woman.
So I would give this woman 100% 0 points for her contribution to the documentary.
No.
0. No. Or maybe like
thanks.
-5.
Thanks, but no thanks.
It's wasting my, I don't know, 5-6 minutes life.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue on and see what's up here.
Should we really let our children define reality?
Hollywood, oh my god, yes.
If I say that I feel
this is
a certain
the
way,
most
then
free play.
obviously you can't tell me I don't feel that way. But just because I feel that way, does that mean that it's true?
I mean, if it's your reality. Okay.
Yeah, if it's your reality
It's truly like none of my business.
So we all have our own
Identity.
realities? What if I said, I want you to say that it's true that I'm a woman? Would you say that?
Okay, you're a woman.
I would also say that.
If you want.
Yeah.
I honestly don't care. Like, whatever makes you happy.
What's true to you can be, false to me. So like, it's like.
What if I said that it's true? My truth is that you don't exist. Does that mean you no longer exist?
I mean, if that's your truth, sure. I don't. Because
but you do.
Well, I mean, if you're saying that I do, then I do.
Well, but even if I said that you don't, you still do, because we're having this conversation.
I mean, are we?
I think so. I mean, I thought...
That's what you think.
Oh, God.
What? Girl!
I told you they should not interview Americans.
Girl, hold up. Girl! The hell? What the hell? What is she?
I told you they should not do an interview random Americans.
Was she thinking with her brain or with her farts, bro?
I don't know.
Like, what was that brain fart? Like, if you say I don't exist, then that's fine. Maybe she just wanted to get out of the conversation as soon as possible, and she was like, yeah, whatever.
I think the thing is people overthink everything. That's what happens nowadays in the societies. Every word we say or we behave, like how we behave, can be interpreted by a lot of people and in a lot of judgmental ways. And that's Lily saying that everything you say, I agree with you. That's it. And I don't want to get in trouble. Maybe that's because
she had a mask. Come on, bro.
No, I mean with some like facial recognition, they read the bone structures. Oh. So with a mask or not, it's making no difference.
Bro, I don't know, man. Like it's weird. Like that comment really threw me off. Like if your reality is like, bro, reality is
that
a shared vision with everybody in society. Everybody, not in one society, but in the whole wide world. Like, what's happening in China doesn't affect me, but it doesn't mean that
it doesn't affect other people.
Yeah, and it's you know, it has wave effects. You know, like
wave effects. Yeah.
First thing is a fucking pandemic, you know, like right now with the whole globalization thing, if one thing is happening here, everybody feels it, especially if a pandemic event happens, you know. Even Ebola, right? Even though it was so contagious, it was so bad, it came to the US, it spread out, right?
Really?
Yeah. There were a couple of cases in US, I think.
Yeah, because I think Ebola, you see, when you catch Ebola, you're gonna have a symptom, not really, I mean, death rate is really high, but normally for Ebola, it's quite different, because normally, when you have Ebola, by the time you're getting Ebola, you will show a symptom in 99.99% of the case. You will show a symptom within a day.
Oh, okay.
That's the reason before you can do anything, you're already like super sick and bad and etc. Okay. That's the reason they have very high death rate. Of course, because of the sickness itself, but also because the Ebola breakout is pretty much in the village in Africa, which is super underdeveloped. And the reason also contribute maybe to the death rate. That's why even though it might be spread to other continent, but you can just get it controlled very quickly because when you have Ebola, you have a symptom within 24 hours. Yeah. With the coronavirus, it was like it's just insane. They can stick in your body for a long time. Maybe you don't have any symptoms, you see. So with Ebola, maybe special cases, but with the others, maybe like influenza, some coronavirus, or SARS first, you know, we had it 2004, so something like this. So it's, that can be very different.
I mean, in reality is... So I don't think that people actually know what the hell reality actually is, you know, because like everybody, it's not your own. You don't have an ownership of reality. Reality.
You have conceived.
Your own imagination. That is true. Your own mental universe. That is true. But reality is external of what you think and what you do, right? And what your brain processes. And let's continue.
You are so mad with a woman.
This girl.
Oh, with it. You know, I don't know. Because she didn't say if she's okay.
Yeah, it's a word salad right there. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, we're in university.
Oh, great.
What we do in gender studies is not just reduce gender to what psychologists might call individual differences, but rather thinking about gender, not women and man, but gender as a social form, something that kind of infuses itself into virtually all aspects of social life.
Let's talk about that then. I guess we should start with, we've got gender and sex, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Okay. What's the difference between the two? Is there a difference?
I saw that in your questions and I thought, my goodness, this is what we spend an entire semester kind of thinking through. But what we tend to think about in the social sciences today is that sex refers to a set of biological characteristics, and gender is a social construct or category. What I think is often misleading about that characterization is allowed to be sort of messy and complicated. But in that framing, when you split them up into these wholly discrete constructs, studies scholars, and really more specifically people who study gender and sex, we're not talking about sexuality right now, in the kind of academic universe that I travel in, is that we see how deeply gendered ideas, cultural ideas about masculinity and femininity, maleness and femaleness, both in humans and in lots of other animals.
So are gender and sex two different things, or?
Well, I think that they both are and they aren't. I'm comfortable saying that gender and sex are two different constructs, but they're deeply intertwined with each other.
We're talking about gender and sex, and there's a lot of controversies there. If we're talking about a trans woman has all of the male physical characteristics, so would that not be a male then? Couldn't we plainly say this person is a male?
Well, I guess it's like, why are you asking the question? I think I want to understand sort of why that's so important. So if someone tells
Just
you...
to sort of understand reality, you know?
Well, I mean, I think when someone tells you who they are, you should believe them. So if a person says that they're a woman or they're a man, then that's them telling you their gender is. I'm not so sure what social... interactions have to do with maleness or femaleness.
Well, I'm not even talking about social context. I'm just trying to start by getting to the truth. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really uncomfortable with that language of like getting to the truth. Again, in social life.
Why is that uncomfortable?
Because it sounds actually deeply transphobic to me. And if you keep probing, we're gonna stop the interview.
If I probe about what the truth is?
You keep invoking the word truth, which is condescending and rude. I'm saying to you...
How is the word truth condescending and rude?
Why don't you tell me what your truth is, and you're walking on 30 seconds more of thin ice before I get up.
What my truth is? Well, I don't think I really have a truth. I think that there's just the truth, like the reality. And so we should begin by trying to figure out what the reality is.
And why are you concerned with when someone else tells you that they're a man, or even if they use the word male, why are you concerned with not believing them?
Well, you keep bringing it back to, how do you respond in a social situation?
That's what I do. I'm a social scientist.
Well, right. Well, we're in a university. This is a place of understanding truth, isn't it? Or
absolutely. We pursue truth, and I'm a social scientist, and that's what I do.
You just said the truth is transphobic.
That you would say, if you're saying the truth is that I get to say, you're not a man, show me your genitalia, that's transphobic.
No, I don't want to see anybody's genitalia. I just mean, someone can make a statement about themselves that could be untrue. Like, for example, if I were to say that I'm a black man, would you accept that, or would you be skeptical?
Are you?
Good play, you know what?
Are you biracial?
Good play.
I don't think so.
Well, you don't look that, and I don't think it doesn't sound like that's a genuine statement of who you are.
Okay, so that's my point. I could make a statement about who I am that's incorrect.
Of course, I think it's well established that human beings can lie, yes.
Or not even lie. I mean, I could just be mistaken.
Yeah.
I guess this all comes down to really one question. Especially women, gender and sexuality studies. So what is a woman?
I think he does one answer.
Why do you ask that question?
You see, I just want...
I'd just really like to know.
He's making me that now.
Well, I'm asking. That's why I came to a college professor who's this is what you do.
Because I don't know, so I'm asking you.
Yeah.
That's it.
And he's like,
why do you ask? I told you.
A lot of like this, where you're not answering. I've gotten a lot of that. So
I think it's interesting that you say that some of the people.
He's doing the
defense thing. I know.
Answer it, and I think that has a lot to do with the questions that preceded it, and the way that you've conducted yourself in the interview.
I think he's a good president material.
How do you think you've conducted yourself?
What?
Yeah, as president, he's debating.
You just really don't want to answer the questions, do you?
I came today very willing and enthusiastic about answering questions about women's and gender sexuality studies.
Yeah, you did that.
So you wanted to answer questions about women's studies, and so shouldn't the first answer you should be able to provide is what exactly is a woman?
Well, for me, it's actually a really simple answer, and that's a person who identifies as a woman.
But what are they identifying as?
As a woman.
But what is that?
As a woman.
Yeah, what is this?
Do you know what a circular
Answer the question, please.
I do.
It's sort of like what you're doing right now, where a woman is a woman.
Mm-hmm. Well, because you're seeking what we would call in my field of work an essentialist definition of gender. I think it sounds like you would like me to give you a set of biological or cultural characteristics that are associated with one gender or the other.
I'm not seeking any type of definition. I'm just seeking a definition.
A definition.
I gave you one.
Well, now I can say I've been to college.
Yeah, we finished one another.
Yeah.
Is there anyone?
Yo, this guy.
This guy, yo.
This guy is disaster. He should be fucking fired, yo. Honestly, like he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
He's not even. Is this what I don't really like nowadays? And I don't know how to say about this. It's just people circular at your question.
Yeah.
They don't answer. It's like I'm asking.
He felt trapped. He really felt trapped because he was like, you have 30 minutes to explain yourself. You're walking on thin ice. Or else I'm gonna just fucking sorry.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna walk out of the interview. I'm like.
Yeah,
so okay, so what is a woman? A woman is
a woman.
Okay, so we got the gender and sex thing.
So okay, his first part is awesome. He explained very specifically what sex and gender, and I think his definition for me is very clear. So sex is biological definition, well gender is correct. So gender is more like a social definition, how our society would describe a certain group of people. I think by then he gives me a very clear clue. Okay, I was like, he made me feel like, oh my god, he understands something,
Yeah.
Like this gender professor academical thing can be, really helpful than those, therapists and doctors just saying a whole bunch of things making me more confused. But he made me very clear that sex means biological, genetic, scientific, optical differences in terms of the woman man, female male, and where gender is just how our society would describe this kind of group of people in whole.
Yeah.
So, and the rest of them was like, what?
The guy was like, are you transphobic?
I'm not transphobic.
Because he asked the guy who's walking, this guy right here, who's walking, is like, what is your definition? And I really have to say this guy is very good interviewer, because he's like, I don't know, you tell me. Yeah. And he really diffused the situation pretty good. Because like he was like, you're walking on thin ice. You have 30 seconds to explain yourself. And he was like, well, hold up, calm down. Let's calm down. And the guy was like in a defensive position, of course.
Yeah,
but he still stayed, which is a mission accomplished. Even though he was giving these circular definition non-answers.
So.
It's kind of interesting how people are afraid to say a thing, or I say afraid to think that it might bother, not even hurt, might bother someone.
I would say, okay, so I really don't like the professor, putting this way. This is my personal emotional feeling.
Yeah.
But I also realized two things that might be maybe unfair to him. So number one, that he actually added the videos, right? Yeah. So I'll notice that he added like a certain period of this interview that with this musicals, and also it seems like he's just talking a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't really make sense, right? But it's also maybe because of editing stuff. But the thing is, he didn't really give a pause or anything. So he just maybe, slow down, speed up, the contents a little bit. So I still understand, I still can perceive 100% what every single word he said. So yeah, maybe there's some dramatic, with the music and with the speed of the words, it can be seen as pretentious.
Yeah.
You see, maybe
Let's
there's...
be honest. All university professors are pretentious.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Did you not have at least one professor that was like, I am better than every one of you?
I don't.
No? You never encountered that? You're so lucky. You're so lucky. I had a few.
I think because...
I'm watching.
I think because I'm just so questionable and critical person. I'm in general very, two-side thinker.
Yeah.
And also because I'm in debate team, so I'm very careful about every statement I make.
Yeah.
I have to process in turn so that I know that the statement I made had a counter statement that can support myself.
Yeah.
But in general, I think, okay, maybe I would misunderstood that professor just because, Mr. Welsh added the whole movie and the whole documentary stuff. It can be that because he doesn't like him, he added in a way that make him look super like a devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see the content. I mean, purely content speaking, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just circular around, it's just, I mean, hello? I just want to know 1 + 1 is 2 or not. Simple.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what Einstein said. Don't tell me what Stephen Hawking said. I just want you to tell me your very true idea, your very personal, individual perspective. And I also understand from one thing because, he's a professor. He represents maybe a school, maybe represent a social associations that he cannot publicly say something that's against maybe a certain interest of his, maybe this is not his true idea. But because of a certain reason he said that.
I mean,
but he didn't defend well,
this is his professional idea, because maybe if he would have given a different answer, he'll be like, I'm not qualified for this job,
I was saying that I don't really, maybe, let's say maybe this is not his idea at all. I would say him as a professor, you should defend better.
Yeah.
Because your profession for you is, of course, when children or when kids or your students or maybe interview or socialists would judge your appointment, and you should give a better defense and debate. Yeah. What he said really questioned his professionalism.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I think he
felt
his tasks.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't have anything to add, so let's continue.
Oh man, this man is driving me mad. Just personally, I don't like him.
Yeah. Let's go.
Willing to give me a straight answer?
Oh my god, this one.
Ideally, somebody with a bunch of medical degrees on the wall.
I told you.
Dr. Grossman.
This documentary something.
Thanks for talking to us. You're a psychiatrist, medical doctor, and you've done a lot of work in child psychiatry.
Okay.
What is transgenderism from a psychiatric standpoint?
The best way to approach it is by speaking about gender dysphoria, which is an intense loathing and discomfort with one's biological sex. They exist anywhere between 1 in 30,000 people and 1 in 110,000. It's important to distinguish those people from what's happening much more recently, which is kids that never had any discomfort or dysphoria, as it's now called, with their biological sex. And then quite suddenly, as preteens or as adolescents, they come out and they announce that they are gender fluid, or they start to question their sex. So first, let's define the terms.
Yeah, so you have to distinguish.
Sex
if they are really disturbed or they're just curious.
Is biology.
Okay.
Sex is unchanging. It's based on chromosomes. 99.999% of the cells in the body are marked either male or female. Gender, on the other hand, is a perception. It's a feeling. It's a way of identifying. It's an experience.
So this is
okay. That's subject.
It sounds like what you're saying is that if a man is male but thinks of himself as a woman, he's not actually a woman?
That's correct.
Male gametes. That's what makes
That's
me
not
male.
actually a woman. Yeah, that's correct.
Your sperm don't make you male.
Then what does?
It's a constellation.
In reality, in truth, okay?
Whose truth are we talking about?
The same truth that says we're sitting in this room right now, you and I.
No, you're not listening.
If I see a chicken laying eggs and I see that's a female chicken laying eggs, should I assume female, or am I just observing a physical reality that's happening in the world?
Does a chicken have gender identity? Does a chicken cry?
Okay.
Yeah, they do. I'm sorry. They do.
Hold up. Chicken, I don't know if they cry or not, because they're cute, okay?
You raise chicken, they cry. I see chicken cry.
Do they cry with tears?
Yeah, they can.
Interesting.
But maybe not because they are
sad
or anything. Maybe they just cry because they want to clean their ass or something.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that by observation, chicken cry.
Okay.
Maybe not crying per se, but they have tears.
Yeah. So let's go with the woman who was like, okay, I stand that woman. Not this woman. We're gonna go back to her, but that woman. So sex is biology, and
Correct.
Gender is just your perception.
Social perception or self-perception. So basically, what he said, is is it called condolences? So paralyzed too.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, equals to what the professor from the university said.
So if male plus man equals man, and female plus woman equals woman, you can't cross it. Like if female plus man
is not woman or man.
It should be their own thing. It's like the point that I made.
It's a new thing.
Yeah.
So the equation is female plus woman is a woman per se, and male plus a man is a man per se.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to make a random
it's a
combination, it's another thing. It's another category.
Yeah.
So I think
it's a trans man or a trans woman.
It's a trans male or trans woman. Yeah, it's a new concept.
Yeah.
It can be a trans dog or trans cat. I don't care, but it's a new concept.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So we use man and woman because man and woman apparently they are human. Yeah, that's the reason.
Trans woman and trans man are also humans.
Yeah, they're humans. We use man and woman just like arbitrary.
Focus,
concept.
people. Come on, let's do this. We're making progress here.
Yeah, so we keep making progress. So we know exactly. So we know sex and gender.
Yeah.
We know woman and man. We know female and male.
Yeah.
So they are socially 6 different conceptions or concepts.
Yeah.
And we also know that from this lady that we know, okay, it's important to know your perception as well.
Okay.
So you're saying that you perceive yourself as a woman by curiosity or by long-term observation or by long-term habitat or by long-term, or maybe not even long-term, just by how firmly are you really sure that you are just you are a woman but you actually want to be a man, or you are a woman or you are a girl and then suddenly you want to be a man. So this is important.
Yeah.
Not just like, because the first part that they firmly believe it, maybe we have to figure out a way because they really have some identical recognition of their biological sex and their gender.
Oh, yeah, so you're talking about the mental disorder, gender dysphoria, right?
Yeah. So that's what she mentioned. So it's really that you have a mental issue here?
Yeah.
Or you just suddenly think, so it's cool to be a woman.
It's hip.
Yeah.
It's hip.
And with this lady, God, it's just...
Okay, let's see what this.
He's wasting another 20 seconds of my life.
Did this chicken cry? I'm like, bro.
Does a chicken commit suicide? Let's frame it because you're trying.
Chicken has sex like any biological organism.
Chicken has an assigned gender, but a chicken doesn't have a gender identity.
So we assign female to chickens when they lay eggs?
We assume they're female if they lay eggs.
Now, I was told that really everyone agrees with the current approach to gender and transitioning kids and all of that. And if you don't agree, that you're a dinosaur and a bigot. So, are you a bigoted dinosaur?
I'm not bigoted and I'm not a dinosaur. I am rooted in reality and in science.
Whose reality?
There's one reality.
It's actually good.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
The first race that I
There is one
competed
reality,
against
yes.
a transgender athlete was during my freshman year.
This is real.
And once
The athlete issue.
the two transgender athletes took off flying and left all of us girls in the dust. Throughout all 4 years of high school, I was just competing against biological males. I only competed against them in sprinting events. But I raced against these athletes over a dozen times throughout the years, and every single time I lost.
Did they inch you out of medals that you would have won otherwise, or trophies you would have won?
They beat me out by 20 meters out of medals, and qualifying spots. I missed out on qualifying for New England's. I had to go in the long jump and the 4x200 meter relay, so I was forced on the sidelines in my own event, and if they were not there, I would have been able to qualify. So I missed out on so much throughout my high school career.
Did they win all the events or almost all the events?
Between the two of them, they won every single event they competed in.
How does that feel?
It is so frustrating and heartbreaking because we elite female athletes train so hard to shave just fractions of a second off of our time. And going into races knowing that we will never be able to win.
Feels like all that work gone to waste?
It does. After so many losses, it just gets to the point of, why am I even doing this? Why am I keep training so hard and sacrificing so much just to place third and beyond?
It has a social aspect of it.
Yeah, hold up.
Casey.
My mom is a professional athlete, and during her professional career, and we don't have this gender issues because technology and medicals and all that was not that advanced. But I know that my mom would be pissed off to be bitten by a transgendered person.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that's the reason why we had a category for men race and woman race. Because we know if we put them together, women won't have a chance to win.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a professional athlete versus a average person. We're talking about both professional athletes in one field. You know how Bolt could run? So the records for the 100-meter race is 9 seconds 58, 58, I would say, like milliseconds. I think women's records is around 10.
Okay.
I don't think they break 10. I can't really remember. But I watch very many sports events and etc. So basically, except like certain race that woman and man compete together. For example, the horse. How to say the horse riding competitions? Like you ride the horses.
Horse riding competitions.
It's called horse riding.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because you have the dance move and etc. So normally, this is a field that women and men don't categorize.
Yeah.
They compete together because basically it's horse competing with each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of them, ping pong tennis, football, basketball, field and track and everything. You have a category of women and men because we recognize there's a physical distinguish between them that leads to different power. Because man in general is stronger and woman in general is not that stronger. It's not saying that a woman is not strong, but it's just in general, if you are not specifically trained woman, you cannot beat men. That's the truth. Physically, we are weaker, and that's why we have lady first rules or like a courtesy.
Not anymore. How dare you?
No.
Equality.
I always enjoy lady first. That's my privilege. I won't gonna break it because
you're not gonna give it away.
No, not gonna give it away. I enjoy people.
Hold on to it real hard.
I think it's a courtesy. I don't care because of course it's rooted in a discriminative way. Because we think woman is weaker. Yeah, in that case, because physically, yes. Not mentally, not intelligently, but just in general, physically, yes. Don't argue with me, because there are men that is weaker too. There is a woman that, they are stronger, they can open whatever things, But I'm just saying maybe average majority, like over 80% maybe. I'm not saying like 99%, like over 80% women in generally on the same height, same level, same age, same also on condition, they are weaker than the men if they are not specifically trained. Yeah? So it happens with athletes too. Man can easily beat a woman in terms of speed. That's why we have a woman race and a man race, and simple is that. And now you're sending a transgendered man. It doesn't matter what his hormone rate, like levels in his body, whatever he says doing the whole surgery or half of surgery, part of the surgeries. You admitted that his muscle was born stronger than the other one.
Yeah.
Finish.
I mean, speaking to what we just saw with the redhead.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would feel very devastated.
I feel devastated.
To be like, yo, I know how much I trained. I know how much my colleagues train. I know how much all the girls in
fighting.
This field are training, and then to see a person, let's be politically correct, to see a stranger who you did not see in the training room at all, like ever since you were born, because like athletes are training from like since they're kids, right?
Yeah.
You did not see this person ever, and then he wins by a long shot.
Yeah.
You know, like I get this girl so much, and it's depressing. I feel like it's depressing when I heard like she said like, I don't know why I'm doing this anymore.
You see, there's a point. I always think, if you have to make a decision based on biological differences, you stick to that. So there's one thing that they all agree on: biologically, woman, man. Gender is another thing. I think the Olympic Games or any sort of sports game is based on sex, not based on gender.
Yeah. So
I don't really care if you see yourself a woman or not. We are talking about your genes, which you are a combination XX or you're a combination XY. This is what I'm talking about. This is the only reference that you should do when you categorize a woman race and a man race. And of course, because you have done a certain surgeries, so you used to be a man, your hormone levels drop because you were taking the female hormones, and you become like a female-friendly man, or you become a transgender woman.
Yeah.
And you participate in a transgender woman competition or a trans competition. We should, the Olympic Games should think, set a sample that you have a race in transgender man, transgender woman, man.
Yeah.
Because transgender man and transgender woman, they also have physical distinguish.
Yeah.
It's not like because they are born as a man, so when they transgendered in a woman, they shall be actually stronger than the woman transgender become a man.
Yeah.
Right? So you just set 4 categories. Or maybe you set another Olympic Games, Mr. Trans Olympic Games, that I think it's very inspirational.
Yeah.
Because they combat so many difficulties, so many hardships to become what they want.
Yeah.
And we should inspire those people to compete in another categories.
Yeah.
Don't mix up the category that we have now, because it's based on sex. Yeah. And of course, if you acknowledge the fact that it's based on biological differences, and don't mix it up.
Yeah.
Because transgender woman used to be a man, and his sex and her sex is a man, and finish it that. Genetically,
I agree. See? I agree. Like you either like do it all of the competition, not just the Olympics, right? All the competitions, all the professional competitions are like either binary, or you just add 2 more.
You add two more.
The trans competition,
I think we have the parallel.
I think it's only fair, right?
Yeah, we have the parallel Olympic Games, right?
With the disabled people.
They have for the 100-meter running different categories.
Yeah.
People are losing arms have like 1 categories. They have a code called like S120 something.
Yeah.
And people who lost their legs have another category. So basically for 100-meter male running, they already have like 6-7 categories. Women 6-7 categories.
Yeah.
We should do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do the same. Because apparently disabled people normally, if they are not specifically trained, they cannot run as healthy people.
Yeah.
It's so apparently that's the reason we categorize like them in another game, because they cannot compete with the healthy people, because the chance of winning is almost like 0.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it with the disabled people, why can't you do with the transgendered?
I think it's just because they're not enough.
Yeah,
players.
Of course, it's a new phenomenon, of course, because the technology was just mature within the past decades or something.
I'm pretty sure in like 10-15 years we're gonna see trans exclusive. It's gonna be. It's gonna have biological and gender male, the whole thing, male,
Sex,
man,
male,
female,
male,
woman, whatever. And then trans woman, trans man, and whatever the fuck is gonna be next, I think that's only fair. Because it goes on with my point. Like, I really struggle. Like, if I were a trans woman, because I can't be a trans man.
Yeah, you can only be a man. You can only be a trans woman.
So if I were to be, if I was like, okay, I'm a woman and I want to do like the operations and whatever, I want to compete with, because I want to see how I compare with other peers of my own, like other people who went through this trans journey and like transformed their bodies and whatever, and let's see the capability of a transformed body. Let's see the performance of the transformed body
of human technology.
Yeah, I'm all down for that. Let's do it.
Actually, the same thing. I mean, seriously. And then you brought me another topic. You said you can only be trans woman, right? Because apparently, yes, there's a binary system. I was thinking maybe there's a person, he was born as a man. He also recognized him as a man, but he wants to have a boobs. He wants to have all the sex preference from both binary sexes, but he also don't recognize him as a man or woman. He want to be a man and a woman. It's funny, right? But it just happened to my man now. That's what are we gonna do with those?
I mean, with
is that he wants to have two in one. He doesn't want to be neither or either. He wants to be both.
But I'm like, my mind is blown right now. I'm like, you either like makeup or goddamn mind.
The question more complicated because there is a group of people they want to be either
or neither.
But there are people that want to be both.
I mean, the meme, like, why not both?
Yeah, I mean, the question is why not both? And then they maybe have a problem with man and woman because they are neither or they are either choice.
I mean, both actually both are in the intersex, like a natural occurrence.
Yeah, because there are people who have like a genetic disorder and they have both boobs and the dick.
But those are natural.
Or maybe they have a vagina and then on top it's a man, so it's So, it's I think it's to have XXY or XYX or something like that.
Yeah.
I read about in the scientific paper. Yeah, it's interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Just maybe they want to have both, just as a choice.
I mean, they go into the transgender competition.
But still, you was categorized like a trans.
Trans. Let's go trans.
Yeah, whatever.
Man, woman.
Yeah, they can be trans A and trans B and trans C.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the option of being like they recognize like not as a both.
Trans M, trans W, trans MW.
Yeah, well,
and then trans BMW.
Everybody like German car music.
Like come on.
Yeah, I want to be trans Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
This is cool. Yeah, I mean, we also, by the topic, we're also, we are trapped in the concept of trans woman, trans man.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't want to be a woman or a man, or they want to be a woman and a man. We also neglect those two group of people, right?
Oh,
come on, we're always gonna find a new category in the same, and we're just so busy with the trans woman and man, and we ignore the other two groups.
Maybe they don't exist now. In 15 years, it's gonna be.
Maybe they are, just because
we're so like revolutionary.
Forward.
Yeah. We were actually like predicting the future, ladies and gentlemen, in the stream. Like, hello.
Yeah, but you see, they should be into another game, not with woman and man game.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I agree. Okay, let's continue on with Black Trans Lives Matter. Let's go.
And just by the way, I think white lives matter too, and Asian lives matter too. Just in general, lives matter. So just my opinion.
They were going to race against the girls, and
this is.
You look at those individuals.
He's
you look at their times
he's a movie
against
director.
the men, against the boys. So they were kind of middle of the pack, and then they're racing the girls, and they're, first and second place. Is that indicative of some kind of unfair advantage that those individuals might have against the girls?
No, it's not indicative of an
Oh,
unfair
yeah.
Transgender man.
Yeah,
kind of a
she's,
proof
yeah.
of this is that more transgender girls are coming out in high school and still playing sports, and they're not winning. You know, the Connecticut case is the exception. It got a lot of attention because those two trans girls performed well, but there are many, many more trans girls competing in sports, and they don't excel.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, whether or not you win a game is not is about how hard you work in your practice, and most of us aren't going to win, and that goes for transgender athletes too.
No.
Let's go, girls.
No, this is just pause here. I have something very important. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said they're all transgender girls or whatever that they didn't win. You know what? Because they're weak. That's finished. Not because this and that. It's just because they didn't. They did. You see, there are also athletes, both the girls. Yeah. There's only one winner, but the chance of winning is distributed differently. Let's see, maybe your physical condition contribute 50% of your winning, and the actual 50% is based on practices. Or maybe the girl, that transgender girl that didn't win, is because he's 50% strength. Yeah. Actually, she has like 60% strength because she used to be a man. So muscle, bone structure, are more powerful than average girls, right? And she just practiced like 10%. Yeah. So at the end of the day, this girl hires 90 and this 80. So 90 is more than 80, but does not mean that this 60%, 50% is going to be equal. Yeah. Yeah, it's mathematical stuff. Oh, we also have transgender girl that didn't win. You know what? When he is a man, he competing a man, he also cannot win. That's simple, that because he's a loser.
I'm dying. I don't have anything to comment, so let's go.
Oh God.
Let's just go.
Loser is a loser. Finish the topic.
Is that transgender youth don't win that much in sports games.
Alana McLaughlin was very appreciative for Provost to take this fight. I don't know how appreciative now, but she got a couple punches in.
Transgender boys wins more or not.
Very much the exception when a transgender young person does win.
And the tap.
And it's because there's not really an advantage to being trans. Only a few people are going to lead the pack.
And you tell this height is not an advantage?
There are some
slight
differences, but does it translate
Muscles?
to a competitive advantage?
Strength?
I think you'd be very hard-pressed to prove that.
Okay.
I know her. She competed in Olympic Games.
If
first
there
round.
was a big advantage to
So China's
being
very good at
transgender
weightlifting.
in sports, then we would see transgender women totally dominate.
And over the last half of the pool, nobody will touch Leah Thomas.
Man, I feel like a woman.
Transgender swimmer Leah Thomas breaking barriers and records. But in a new article, Sports Illustrated calls the college senior the most controversial athlete in America.
Leah obviously helps us do better, right? Leah's swimming really fast. Leah's performance helps the University of Pennsylvania swim team. The feeling of winning doesn't feel as good anymore because it feels tainted. There was a lot of things you couldn't talk about that were very concerning, like a locker room situation. If you even brought up concerns about it, you were transphobic. If you even bring up the fact that Leah swimming might not be fair, you were immediately shut down as being called a hateful person or transphobic.
But there's never any conversation. The coaches don't sit everyone down and acknowledge what everyone's really upset about.
So Penn actually brought in people high up in the athletic department to talk to us. They brought in someone from like the LGBTQ center. They brought in someone from the psychological services.
So you're upset about what's happening, and so you need psychological help.
Yeah, and they told us in this meeting, they said, look, we understand there's an array of emotions, but Leah's swimming is a non-negotiable. However, we can help you make that okay. That's what we're here for.
So you're anonymous for this interview. Why did you decide that you can't have your face out there saying these things?
They've made it pretty clear that if you speak up about it and you say anything negative, that like your life will be over in some way. Like you'll be blasted all over the internet as a transphobe if you come out, and then you'll never be able to get a job. Like anyone who wants to hire you will look you up and see you're transphobic and your life will be over.
Let's say that I identified as a woman tomorrow, and I wanted to go into the same locker room where you are. Should I be allowed to do that? As long as I identify that way?
I don't know. I just feel that other women would be uncomfortable by you
walking in there.
Ella dice que qué tú piensas acerca de que los hombres que son transexuales usen baños de mujeres. ¿Tú crees que está bien?
No, porque tienen ver.
Controversy at a health club in Koreatown over the issue of gender.
That's right. Video of spa goers complaining was posted on social media.
I just want to be clear with you. It's okay for a man to go into the women's section, show his penis around the other women, young little girls underage. Your spa, we spa, condone that. Is that what you're saying? Like I asked. It's so he can stay there. He can stay there. What sexual orientation? I see a dick.
Police identified the person involved as 52-year-old Darren Morager of Riverside County. Morager, who has been a registered sex offender since 2006, now faces 5 felony counts of indecent exposure.
Hello, I'm Congressman Mark Takano. Trans Month of Visibility is a time to recognize the strength, diversity, and resiliency of the transgender community. Together, we can make our country and our world a more accepting place by speaking out against transphobia at the source and supporting the trans community by getting the Equality Act signed into law.
Congressman, thank you for being here.
Okay, hold on.
You are the first.
Pause.
Member.
Yeah, you have something to say?
Yeah, I mean, the whole locker room thing
It's terrifying.
And the fact that the guy was actually a registered sex offender. He did that shit, and then he was transgender, and then he did that in front of women.
A real woman, biological, just per se.
Yeah, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a woman, but like okay." So if the guy was like, you know, operation knife cutting off all of that, you know,
I will be okay.
Yeah,
I will be okay.
Totally fine. Sure, you see hairy stuff because men are more hairy than women.
Yes.
It'll look disgusting, but it's still no Johnson. I know Trumpy.
Yeah, Trumpy. Right?
You know, like no something hanging from you. Only boobs, you know, only boobs hang, right? No, nothing else, right? So that's okay, but like if there's like that thing, I'm like, yo, I would also be. I, as a man, would be uncomfortable when a woman
just
comes in the locker room and changes. Not because I'll stare at her. I'll just be like, are you lost? Or
it's
like...
just very uncomfortable because the reason why we have to...
Plus, men are super lustful. I may be lying because I'll sneak a peek.
I mean, I was gonna sneak the men's too because it's not something you see every day, right? It's just different because you are curious. Something is different.
I mean, humans are very curious. Even if in my locker room, I'm like looking at taking a peek. I'm like, is he bigger than me or not? Nah.
You see, the difference is more like you are curious for sure.
Yeah.
But when you pick a woman, you don't feel terrified. Because because you're a man, you're stronger. So if a woman walks in, you can't handle her for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a strong, superwoman, maybe not. But as long as you know that it's not going to be a threat to you, just because physically you think you can combat her, you will just be uncomfortable because,
Yeah, like, why are you here?
And you are curious because you want to see the boobies.
I want to just,
You see the boobies.
I'm a man, I'm a simple man,
But if a naked man...
Shape and everything.
I'm just saying a naked man, not like a David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo, Leonardo DiCaprio, this kind of man, it's a different thing, okay?
Yeah.
So, you just see a man, random man.
Yeah.
Strong, muscled, with the penis hanging.
Yeah.
You want to pick because it's a natural feeling. It's a natural feeling, right?
Yeah.
And you will feel terrified. As a woman, you will feel terrified because you know this man is stronger than you, and technically he can attack you.
Yeah.
So as a woman, I will feel terrified.
And fact, men are more aggressive than women.
Yeah, I think so.
Physically,
When you're doing
like,
the punch, you have more power than I do in the punch.
And honestly, I never, I have friends who are like, oh my god, I'm so terrified of men, and I'm like, I never, as a man, I can never understand
the
woman's like feeling of being scared of a man. Okay. I mean, I get it, because I also feel scared
when a
strong man is just like eyeing me, just like looking like
like a muscle.
Yeah,
muscle,
like, oh, okay, do you want to start something, or what's happening?
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but I don't get it fully, you know. I don't, and I think I'll never get it, you know, because I'm a man and I never experience the woman's woman life.
Exactly. The point is, I believe 99% of the men, they are good men, or maybe lower, or maybe higher. I don't know, because I never have any problem with men. My colleagues, my friends, my dad, my male relatives, they're so nice to me, and actually, I get more good outcomes from a man, because they are gentlemen, and they take care of you, they cook for you, and they clean up for you, and they're always nice to you, but does not mean that my fears to them that one day they can become a monster, just like 0.1% that one day they can turn a monster and he's punking a knife to me, and I won't be able to fight back.
So the percent ratio, the same feeling would be the ratio would be higher. So that feeling would be higher towards men than women, right?
Of course, because the woman would have also the same rate, like 0.1%, that this woman become a monster.
Yeah.
But I know in general I'm taller, I'm heavier.
So you can handle.
I think I can handle her.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can handle a man who is same height with me, same weight as me.
Yeah, I get it.
But we don't have the same bone structure and the muscle.
Yeah, I get it.
Or the hormone levels.
Mm.
You see?
Yeah.
I would also fear a man maybe 17 years old is already up. Maybe I'm afraid also a man like 14, 15 years old, because they can already be very strong compared to an adult woman.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah, and plus, like, kids, adolescents are very, like, energetic, and they can really punch hard.
Yeah, so it's a thing, because naturally they're stronger.
Yeah.
And they give you a bossy feeling, and just because of that. And what signifies that? Your genitals.
Yeah. That's
how the scares come from, because I cannot tell you whether you are mentally man or woman, but I can see.
Yeah.
That thing just hang there. And it's significant that the percentage that they can tend to be a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. It's simple as that.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's see what Representative Mark Takano or something like that.
Yeah, he said trans rights are rights. Yeah, I stand by.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, trans rights are right, of course. Why not?
All of human rights
are rights.
Are good rights.
Yeah, good rights. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Congress, who's a member of the LGBT community and also a person of Asian descent. You're also a big proponent of the Equality Act.
Yes.
What is the Equality Act? If you were to just summarize it very briefly, I know it does a lot.
The most simplest way to talk about the Equality Act is that it simply amends the 1964 Civil Rights Act to include sexual orientation and gender identity. So public accommodations is one area.
What's a way that someone who's LGBT could be discriminated in public accommodations currently?
Currently, public accommodations is the whole area of, hotels and motels and
bathrooms and sports teams. Is that?
I say bathrooms, sports teams, athletic events.
Let's get into more specific policy issues. There are some women who say, and I've talked to a few who say this. They say, hey, I'd like some privacy in the bathroom. I'd prefer not to encounter naked penises, frankly. They say even that the penis is a telltale sign that someone is a male. I mean, there are people who've kind of really bought into the rumor that only men have penises. How do we account for that? How do you respond to that?
If you make laws, they're very dangerous.
Well,
Come on.
well, what I would say is that most transgender people that I know, and it's a very, I think, distinct minority of people. It is a very, I think, we're talking not about a lot of people. I think a person who wants to use a women's bathroom, who identifies as transgender, really does think of themselves as a female. So how we go about trying to, respect their basic right to live, I think will be an important part of this law. And
With the
bathrooms.
law.
Well, wait a minute. Bathrooms are, where you want to take this conversation instead of the basic right to just life is something that I'm kind of mystified that you're kind of not focusing on first. That we're going straight to the controversy over bathrooms. So, you know what? I think this interview is over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this interview is over.
Yeah, he's so busy, I know.
No, the interview's over.
We
Please
want
turn
to
off
know
cameras.
what is a woman?
Just turn off the cameras.
Excuse me. So we're gonna end the interview. If you guys could.
We need
Oh my God, he fell
He
trapped.
fell! Oh my God, no one's gonna vote for him. Oh my goodness! Oh my God, that's not true.
Damn! He was like, this interview is over.
Yeah. You know, in the next appointment, dinner with Tommy.
What kind of language was that? Bruh, how the hell did you get into the fucking?
So his point is like, by asking me, what do I, see, those transgender women with a penis hanging around the locker room? Why don't you just criticize yourself? Why would you be so judgmental? You should accept them because, this is their right to live and right to use the bathroom. Yes, it's their right to use the bathroom. It's my also right to use the bathroom. If I have a problem with you using the bathroom, then it's also my right. I'm just saying. Like, seriously.
Look, I'm saying that politicians should. The only qualifications of a politician is to know how to talk.
How to
and this
defense.
Guy failed.
How to defend. I mean, this professor from the university and this guy
was more intelligible.
They are just coward.
No, the professor was actually more intelligible than this guy.
Yeah,
he was
of
like,
course.
I'm like, bro, they have a stroke? What's wrong with you?
I mean, the professor at least still trying.
Yeah.
He's bullshitting a lot of stuff, but he's trying.
Yeah. He at least answered the question, what is a woman?
He said woman is a woman. Yeah. My answer is a woman is a woman. I got it. So you just want to talk. This is like, I have a next point.
A woman is a woman, like, come on.
He can also say a woman is a woman. I won't have a problem. Is that it's just like, I won't give you, 100 mark, but at least I can give you like a 1 something, just by rating something.
This guy is a failure.
I don't like his saying.
As a politician, like.
Oh, as a politician.
He could have given the
roundabout answers.
Then the trans line, but he didn't even knew that. He was just like
The best solution would be, transgender women or men would have a problem to go into their biological toilet, and we as a natural born woman and man would have a problem of transgender hanging out in our toilet. The reason why, you see, the point is, the reason why we have a woman toilet, a man toilet is because of a simple reason. Because in that case, he could simply say, there's a man want to visit a woman toilet. I want to go to a toilet where David Beckham and Cristiano Ronaldo visited, It's not a right thing. It's not about your right, your obligations, your responsibilities. It's not about that. It's about simple fact.
Yeah.
we trying to separate them in some private areas because you don't want to have visitors just seeing you taking some private business over there.
Yeah.
So that's why we separate the genders. Simple is that. If this is a question involve a gender recognition and also including the optical part, you set up an unisex or whatever transgender bathroom and let them just go inside and taking their business. It's finished. Why do you have to squeeze those people into another group? That making both groups very unhappy.
So with the whole bathroom debate, I honestly, my opinion is, so it's kind of like the line that, oh, you have to make a separate bathroom. I don't think that's practical because plumbing is very complicated, right?
What do you mean by?
Like if you already have two, if you're a restaurant. So
you already have two bathrooms.
You already have two bathrooms. Where the hell are you gonna squeeze the other one? It's kind of impossible just to accommodate a minority, first of all. Second of all, just have a unisex bathroom
everywhere.
Bro, my mom is a cleaning lady at an office.
Okay.
Where I went to clean.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Nobody's watching this anyway. And I'm gonna edit this shit out anyway. But for the sake of our conversation, right?
Yeah.
So the developer actually built a bathroom with 3 bathroom stalls.
Yeah.
Man, the bathroom stall that men use, it's visible. There's piss everywhere.
Where?
The bathroom that women use, flower scented, clean everything, tampons there, pads everywhere, you know? And the bathroom that is used by men, oh my god, yo, it smells horrible. It's low, like, yo, they piss on the toilet, they urinate on the toilet, they don't even have the common courtesy to take the toilet paper and just do it like that to just wipe it off.
Women do every day.
Yeah, they don't even have the courtesy to just like wipe after yourself. And men do this, and honestly, I think this is why women don't want to share a bathroom with a biological man, because men are very disgusting and they don't care about cleanliness. Yo, I go to the men's bathroom at the gym. They go, I see multiple people using the urinal.
Yeah.
They go out, they don't even wash their goddamn hands, and they touch the gym, you know, equipment, and I'm vomiting inside. I'm a germaphobe, so I get the lady's point. Like, you don't want to share a bathroom with a man. It's disgusting. Okay? And I have I've given you multiple explanations why, so I totally get it. And the third bathroom thing is really, like, from a infrastructure standpoint, it's kind of like impossible. And it's not possible, but it takes a lot of effort, and I don't think that businesses will be willing to put that effort in.
And that's the reason you have to make a law.
And that's the reason, you have to make the law.
You have to make a law, and when it's implemented, it's obligations. I mean, plastic bags used to be free.
Yeah.
Right? And then we make a law. Not asking if those people want to do it, they're making a law because we need to protect the environment.
Yeah.
By forcing you, well, it's not like they said you cannot buy it, because plastic bag is very convenient and it's cheap, and it's the easiest way you can find a way as a container to carry out your items.
And it's resistant.
It's resistant, and it's not illegal. It's just you have to pay it. And so a lot of countries, China included, they're making a law and saying that you are not allowed to offer free plastic bags. Finish the sentence.
Yeah.
Making a law. And people have to do that. And simple as that. That's the reason the law have to exist. It's not necessary because it's wrong or right. It's just, it fits the needs now. Because you see, we see a minority. We want to help them. Yeah, everybody said, since 99% of the human beings, they are binaries, and there's 1%. Yes, because we are seeing the 1%, otherwise we won't spending our Christmas night talking about the issues. Because we see their needs, we see their existence, and we see our struggles with those people living together, right? So we're trying to find a balance. We create a new place for them, we create a unisex toilet, we create this and that just to make me and them feel comfortable, and we live in peace. See, I think a unisex, or let's say like the third gender toilet should be implemented. This is my simple opinion.
That's ideal.
That's ideal, and
solution.
I think it might be complicated for the old buildings to have the transmissions, but seriously, for the new ones, yes.
Yeah.
From all the building up next year, 1st January 2023, all the public accommodations should have a third gender facilities. Point. Finished.
To accommodate for the future. Yeah, I agree with that.
For the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, when the electric car was first introduced, and it said, there's no city have a charging station. Now we see a lot of charging stations. You just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Yeah, because toilet, I get the point. Toilet does not make money.
Yeah.
Because you have to do it. So making a more toilet means you are losing more money. But yes, making 2 or making 3, making 100 does not make any difference. Mm-hmm. So if it's not making money, then yeah, that's the point. So just do it. It's not hard actually. I don't think it's hard.
It's cost, and that's the issue.
It's a cost, and government wants to help.
Yeah.
For renovation of all the old buildings that only have a binary toilet system, you get a compensation maybe from the state.
I don't agree with that. Like, come on, compensation from the state.
By setting up
my taxes should go to hospitals, to schools, and not to building toilets.
No,
let's be real.
Yes, but also you see this is another issue. My personal opinion is that I think all our attention should be paid to the people who are suffering food supplies, drinking waters, AIDS, maybe in Africa or maybe in other cities or countries. Yeah. And because those are fancy questions, are fancy issues.
Yeah.
Because people have some issues in their self-recognition, and we talk about this, and we try to accommodate them, we try to make them happy because they're minorities, and etc. etc. But I honestly think that if I could have energies, I would never donate any money into some LGBT supporting groups or this and that. I would invest in money in more urgent issues, more death-threatening issues. Because if you don't have drinking water, if you have diabetes, you have blood issues, you have cancers, and that's life-threatening.
Yeah.
Just mental issues also, but apparently you don't see any people have mental issues sent to emergency rooms, right? Only when they commit a suicide or when they hurting themselves. So we're still thinking that physical conditions has some priority in the emergency lanes. For me, the same.
Mm.
If I'm so rich enough, and I would still want donated money to supporting LGBT group or supporting mental disease and this, I would donate money in my priority list to solve the hunger, to solve the AIDS, cancers, drinking waters, infrastructures like trains, cars, roads in underdeveloped countries like south part of Asia, maybe in Central Africa, Latin America.
Yeah.
Those are fancy issues.
Yeah.
But if we are not talking about
first world issues.
But if we are talking about the issue that existed and we're trying to find a solution, it doesn't matter if it's ideal or not. I think if people need to have a third toilet, and this is not some commercial values in it, more like social values in it, just like plastic bags.
Yeah.
Government need to help.
Hmm?
Because I don't think any companies would willing to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you need the government to enforce anything.
Enforce policies, enforce laws, and then maybe some compensation or money allowances out of the taxpayers' pocket, of course.
The US can afford it. They can afford wars. They can afford the extra toilets.
They can afford an extra toilet.
Yeah.
Since you have the most problem with your transgender rights and stuff. Yeah, you do it yourself. Yeah. Don't let us be the devils.
Exactly. Oh my god, this is so
such
long. Like we're already 2 hours in and we're 55 minutes. Oh my god.
Well, maybe we'll do a part 2,
Part 2? Yeah.
Because apparently those people make us mad and make us think.
Yeah, I mean we're thinking, okay, and we're providing solutions and shit. So yeah, I have to edit and censor this so much. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah. Maybe you finish one interview and doing the part 2?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Just let's see if next
My
man or
trip to
woman or
California
trans
isn't
can give us
providing
some
many answers.
input.
But at least I'm making new friends.
Oh,
hello.
Hello.
No, because I raised 2 daughters. They're 2 of the most well-adjusted adults.
Oh, I like his confidence. I want
Studies have shown that children raised around non-sexual nudity actually have fewer hang-ups than their adults.
People do have hang-ups. A lot of things hang
Thank
out
God. I
during
don't.
this conversation.
I don't.
Can anyone be any gender they want to be? Can a man become a woman if he wants to be?
I leave that. I mean, what people do, that's personal choice. People can live the life they want to. I'm trying to live the life I want to, an authentic life, and that's why I respect other people's rights and to choose what they want to do.
Well, why are you asking a gay man as to what it means to be a woman? You should be asking women what it means to be a woman, especially trans women, what it means to be a woman.
I'm asking all kinds of people. Can anyone have an opinion about it?
Only people who are women. Gay men don't know nothing about what it means to be a woman.
You see,
Have you told gay men here in San Francisco that they're not allowed to talk about this?
No. But it's not like I come around and say what a gay man is allowed to be.
So you're saying if you're not a woman, then you shouldn't have an opinion.
Where does a guy get a right to say what a woman is?
I love
women only know what women are.
Is this person a guy, a dude or a girl? Because like I can't figure it out.
This is a gay man.
With boobs.
This is actually not, but maybe he's just a little bit overweighted.
This is actually a genuine mistake. I am sorry I even came up there.
I think he's just a little bit overweighted. That's why he has.
Do you want to tell us what a woman is?
If my friend in the purple hat is correct, and only women can tell me what a woman is, I guess I need to go.
I think everyone has the right to say what woman or what man is. It's just woman has more knowledge in terms of how we are or who we are.
What is a woman? Can you tell me that?
You don't ask those extremists. Sorry, not extremists.
I'm dying. What?
At the Women's March, you must have some idea.
I mean, if someone asked me, I would say I'm a woman.
So I see girls, vagina. Does that mean that they're the only people who can get pregnant?
If men can get pregnant too, I think they want the right to choose.
But men can get pregnant?
We're saying someone who was born as a woman but identifies as a man. That real man.
It's a real man.
Yeah.
So men can get pregnant.
Yes, and we're saying yes. They have the parts to do so.
Is it just women that give birth, or is it?
I guess, yeah.
So men can give birth too?
With a
transgender man can be
But that could be.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's the whole point, right? That it's fluid. The way that we define these things changes a lot. What are you doing here?
I'm asking these questions.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what a woman is. That's why I'm here. And this is the Women's March. I figured this is a good place to find out. I've come all this way to ask that question. Can anyone tell me what a woman is?
Okay, it's a feminist march.
We ask you to leave.
What is that? Where? How am I harassing? I'm asking a question.
Our bodies, our choice.
Whose body?
What is a woman?
What is it?
Here at the Women's March, tell me what a woman is. How about you tell me what a woman is and I'll put a mask on? Sure. Tell me what a woman is and I'll put a mask on.
Oh, she's bumped. Bumped.
Please, if one person can tell me what a woman is.
What is a woman? I like his creativity.
No
idea.
Bro.
Come on, you're a woman.
I still can't find an answer.
And being already married.
Maybe I'm looking too close to home.
Oh.
They don't even know what they're fighting for right now.
Yeah.
They're fighting for woman rights, but they don't know what a woman is.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic.
Is it? I find it so hilarious. Yeah. Oh, so we're in Africa.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Aloha. Yeah, finally another country. Maybe we get some new input.
Yeah.
We came a long way to come and talk to you guys, thousands of miles from America. So thank you for inviting us into your tribe, first of all.
I can say it is my pleasure to meet you and feel most welcome. But you're here to learn with me. I'm here to learn with you too.
Great.
Oh, there's an original trap.
What's the right form here?
No.
It's just.
Oh, they have both this fail.
Just with the elbow?
Yeah.
I mean, they're laughing, so I guess it's not good, but I thought it was pretty good. Not good enough to be a man yet in your tribe, but what does a man do? What are his roles within the tribe?
At the role of a man, you need to work for your woman. Secondly, to have children. If you have children and you don't have something to feed them, you are not still a man.
Trap can be a simple direct answer. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's correct or not. That's not the point. They can answer a question.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a blood.
Oh, it's smelly.
It's the best raw kidney I've had in my life.
Oh, really?
What if a man decides that he wants to do the roles of a woman?
In Maasai community, it will not exist at all.
Doesn't exist? What if a man decides that his gender identity is woman?
I think they have this thing maybe in their languages. It's hard to translate in certain concepts.
A woman has its own duty, and a man has its own duty, and a lady cannot do the duty of a man, and a man cannot do a duty of a woman.
Can a man become a woman?
No.
No?
No.
What about a transgender?
Do they have this word in their dictionary? It's because I'm a linguist major student and
if you want to
I know there's something they cannot translate.
Yeah.
So they don't have that concept and you need more explanation and by explanation there's some things already gone.
What about if someone was non-binary?
Come again?
Non-binary? Do you know, like non... Like someone is
you're not a woman, you're not a man.
Yeah, someone's like someone is neither. There's something else. Is that?
He's saying we have never seen things like those. For a man, he has a penis. For a woman, he has a vagina. So we know this is a lady, this is a man.
What if it's a woman with a penis?
How? He might ask, it's like a how.
Is that? People are laughing. Is that a dumb question?
I think everybody thinks it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
They're just
he's
laughing
asking
because
a lot of
they
things
have never
against
heard
common
something
sense.
like that. This is their first time.
Never heard it before.
A woman have a penis and she is a woman.
In my country, I can't go a day without hearing it. We hear it every day. So in my country, sometimes you'll hear people say, a man will say that I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. And so they say that I have a woman trapped inside me.
So many flies.
It's kind of
They want to know a woman has the breast.
Breast. Yeah.
Secondly, she has a vagina.
Vagina.
And the question is, does this man deliver?
Does he deliver babies? No, not as far as I know.
The question is, let's say if you want to sleep a woman, definitely you do sex.
Sex with a woman, yeah.
And you the vagina, is it? But for the man, where do you You ask that question.
There's another
I don't know
hole.
the logistics of it. Based on what I'm saying, would you ever want to move to America?
They say no, never.
What is a woman if you had to give it a definition?
She's saying a woman delivered, a man cannot.
So it sounds like you don't spend a lot of time thinking about.
I mean, it's simple, right?
It's simple and understandable. I cannot put an argument over it.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's
woman
basic.
Can deliver, man cannot. Yeah, genetically speaking, yes.
Yeah, it's.
And this is also common sense, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's not super complicated.
No,
not
I mean,
no overthinking.
Everybody gets it.
No overthinking, yeah, but people's gonna judge it because there's like 1%.
I think the root of the problem is the fact that they don't want to be called trans.
Yeah.
They just want to be either woman or not.
Yeah.
Or woman, yeah. Woman or man, whatever.
I think the fact
is
we want. Really think. Let's think this way. I'm not a princess because technically I can't. There is no royal family in China, and even though we might have back to many years ago, we are not princess. We are another. We actually call ourselves another. Just difference like a king and emperor.
Yeah.
And I want you to worship me, to bow to me, and this and that. It's my will. This is my recognition. I recognize myself as a princess. So technically, it's not possible. And also, it doesn't really matter what I see myself. I'm just not a princess because I was not a royal family. It's just by definition I cannot be a princess. But of course you can behave like a princess, right? And you can think that you are a princess and no one's gonna have a problem with that. But you cannot force everybody to treat you and behave like your servant.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem or the issues, or that's how we discussing about the trans women and men. Just because you work hard to become closer to an icon you want to be does not make everybody think that you are, because technically you are not.
Yeah.
Just like being a princess, you have to born in a royal family. You have to carry the royal bloodlines, and it doesn't matter how you conceive yourself. As long as you didn't reach the basic criteria, it doesn't really help.
Hold up. So with this thing, Meghan is really a princess or not?
By law, yes.
Because she inherited the title from Harry.
By them it's complicated because they decide to how to say retreat, like leave.
Yeah, let's not delve into that.
Okay, so by the time when Harry was still in the family, right? So they didn't do the whole controversial things.
Yeah.
Yes, Meghan is a princess. She's a married princess.
Yeah. So it has an inherited title.
Yeah, as a title. Just like what is the queen consort right now? Camilla, right? Is the name Camilla? The wife of not Prince Charles, but King Charles.
Okay.
Yeah.
People in the chat asking how are we feeling today. I'm feeling good.
We're feeling
Christmas.
I'm feeling like a woman. So.
Christmas time.
Yeah. So Meghan is a married princess, and the title has to be given by the Queen Elizabeth II.
She's dead.
Yes, well, she was not dead back then. And also, you're not just because you're married to a prince who is an identified prince does not necessarily make you a princess. See, you have to be acknowledged or be presented by the queen back then to make you a princess. So as long as you are not presented or recognized by the queen, you are not a princess. But if you are the daughter of the queen, that makes you actually automatically a princess. Well, technically, actually, also the queen has to name you the princess, but
yeah,
you see, there's a difference.
Yeah.
So princess is more like a title than a position. Let's put it this way, because all the queen and all the kings, including their wife or their husband or their kids and their grandchildren, exactly, have to be entitled by the head of the royal family.
Okay.
So technically, you are qualified to being a princess by the bloodline, but you are not a princess or the prince until the queen or the king named you. This is how the royal family or the whole
but this whole thing,
but
this whole thing does not correlate with gender and stuff like that, because the position of the authority grants the title of the princess to a person who doesn't have the royal bloodline. And this can be correlated with the fact that there's a doctor, a gender affirming doctor, who has a position of authority as a medic. And grants a woman the title of a man because she works, So it doesn't really, it's not the same.
Yeah, from that line, you see, there's a difference between queen and the queen consort and queen the queen mother. They're not the same queen. They're just using the same name. So Princess Diana is not the Princess Annie, the daughter of Elizabeth Queen II. Right?
Yeah.
So they're using a name. They're using the same word to describe those, but they are not the same thing.
Yeah.
So Princess Diana is a princess, married princess, or like that princess. Is that like a title, like a sir, like a like a madame. Prince Annie has the title of a princess.
Yeah.
Princess Annie.
Yeah.
Also for the Prince Charles back then. Also for the Prince Harry and Prince William.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just using the same word, but they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
Just like the reason why we use trans woman is not a woman. That's actually, it's a good metaphor in that case. We use trans woman to describe, but they're not women.
Yeah. They're trans women.
They're trans women. Just like Princess Diana is not Princess Annie.
Yeah. Princess Diana is not actually a princess.
Princess, yes, exactly.
Has a title of a princess, not actually a princess.
But Prince Annie is a princess.
Yeah.
Anna has a title of princess.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah, let's move on. Or do you wanna leave this part?
Yeah. So
let's finish this.
Let's finish this in Africa because that's exactly in the middle.
Okay.
And we have 45 minutes to go for the rest.
Yeah.
No, because
and we finished 50
plan.
minutes already.
He's saying that I'm shocked on what you are telling me.
He's shocked.
Yeah.
The Maasai people don't think much about gender,
I like
but they
their
have a
honesty.
firm
They
sense
say
of
what
their
they think.
identity.
They say what they think.
It's clear that
they
gender
just,
ideology
they make a
is a
statement.
uniquely
They give
Western
you an answer.
phenomenon.
Yeah.
So where did all this come from?
Suitable for the question.
Who came up
Not like circling
and
around.
why?
I think respond.
Matt, I want to show this to you. You're a parent, right? Okay. It's perfectly normal for
Shall we
10
pause
years
it or no?
and up. Here's just
Doing the part
one
2
page
on what
I want you to see here.
Because we're back to the clinical again.
We can pause here.
Maybe we do a pause here, and then we finish the second part on the reviews, because that's how we promised our friend, right?
Yeah, we finish the second part
someday.
Soon.
Within the week.
And then during the second part, we'll finally answer the question: what is a woman?
Yeah, I think we can think based on the information we collected and forming our own. So we have to answer.
I still think that a woman gives birth to other humans, to humans, right?
Able to, yeah, because they can choose not to.
They're equipped to be able to.
They're equipped with the facilities that can give birth.
That's about it.
Yeah. I think my answer will be more. Let's say this way. I would describe a woman from a sex perspective and gender perspective.
Okay.
Maybe I think I firmly believe that, but I think I only answer the questions by the gender perspective. No, sorry, by the sex perspective, because as a genetic code, we have X, Y, and XX. Yeah.
Okay.
So I get a more added up into that.
Yeah.
After the first part.
Right. So we're nearing the end of the first part, guys. Thanks so much for the comments. If you have any questions, let us know now because it's 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. here. Actually, this went on for a while. We thought it 2 hours and that's it, but we stretch it.
Because those people had.
Yeah, it's fine. I love that. I love that.
It's keep our brain working. I think.
Yeah, let's see. Can we have this?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. This is us.
Okay.
So yeah, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know if you have any questions. We'll stay for like 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes, and then we'll finish the stream. And then stay tuned for the second part, okay? Don't go anywhere. Hit the follow button right now to be notified when the second part will arrive. It will arrive next week, this week. I don't know what your time zone. I'm not sure when. I'm not sure the day, so that's why you have to follow me here on Twitch and for YouTube. Follow me, subscribe on YouTube, on the podcast channel to view all of the podcasts. It's pretty nice. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, and I hope maybe Mr. Walsh will say that, and maybe he has some comments, or our comments, or maybe, yeah, I hope like we also give him a little bit input in a certain perspective.
Yeah, I mean, he's the first, let's see, 50 minutes. Honestly, I don't get why people are so against this guy, because he doesn't have a personal opinion yet.
He's just trying to get an answer, right? That's
yeah,
also
it's funny. He's a little bit funny as well. Not gonna lie.
I think that I didn't know him until I watched documentaries, and then I not follow him, but I followed this documentaries comments, and everybody's like,
yeah,
he has so strong personal opinions. He's playing the game and etc. I was like,
maybe on his YouTube, but
that's not my opinion.
Here it's
I mean, only based on the documentary perspective, he's trying to get an answer. Like me, I'm getting really mad when people just circle around the questions.
Yeah.
But
just answer
the questions.
Answer the question.
I mean, yeah, woman is not a perfect answer, but
it's at least something.
It's something.
He made an effort.
He tried his best.
Yeah, he made an effort.
He tried his best. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like we don't have any questions. Unfortunately, it's fine. Follow for part 2. Okay?
Okay.
Part 2 is gonna come soon. Don't forget to hit the follow button here on Twitch. If you want to see us live, read the comments and everything. Yeah, I'm trying to do because I need the phone for. I wanted to do Twitter Spaces as well in like parallel.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll catch more ears, not eyes, because in Twitter Spaces you can't see. But yeah. Hit the follow button if you like what you see. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you had a fantastic day. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas with your friends and family. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much, Allison.
Thank you.
You're the best. She's the best. So yeah, any last words?
Merry Christmas.
Merry
and
Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.